Hello, hola, bonjour, hey, y'all. My name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert, coming to you live from downtown Toronto. So sad. Hey, Jamie, thank you for the gifted. Jamie dropped 5 gifted memberships right off the top. And I have to say, our little Lainey was first. Followed really quickly, like they tied. Somebody tied with Lainey. Who was it? Give me a sec. Denver. Hey, guys. So here we are back in the land of the snow and the cold. Ella, I feel like my hair grew 6 inches while I was away. Like all of a sudden it was insane. No, not jet lagged at all. Jack, thank you for asking. It's a 2-hour. Hola. Que triste, muy triste. Muy triste. I hate being here. I gotta tell you, hate being home. Not a fan. not a fan. You know, immediately got to deal with Joan drama. Cold. It's like, what was it today? 9 Celsius. It's kind of a wolf cut, isn't it? I don't know what it is. It is what it is, you know? Paige has kind of gone AWOL. maybe she hates me now. I don't think so. Paige had to bring home a whole ton of work. And then I know she, her little pup, Paige's doggo, was staying with her mom, and she couldn't get the doggo till this weekend. So I imagine she's just... And she could be sleeping. I might have broke Paige. I'm not sure. I might have broke Paige. She was such a trooper. I kept saying, if you need to stop, let me know. But she never once asked. Never once asked. So that's a trooper. Someone said, Magic Zero says, I look de-stressed. Thank you. I feel like I wasn't even gone, to be honest. A week isn't long enough. It's not. Because you just kind of, like, I just got the lay of the land. And now I know. Like, now I know where the dock is. You think I wouldn't be down there every day getting fish from the fishermen? Of course I would. Didn't find the dock till, like, the second last day. Can I tell you, I hope that Paige's health isn't dangling. Will you tell us your story about leaving on the wrong day? Well, I kind of have to, don't I? Because it was really stupid. Merc did a big dumb thing, and but that does make kind of for the best travel stories. So why don't I just tell you the story of how I got home, and then we'll get into Amber, and then we can talk more later if we want. Tonight we're going to look at some drunk Amber, and we also have some of the Instagram and the TikToks, some of the stuff she's deleted. We got it. We're all over that. Thank you, Ella, for grabbing those before they deleted. Nothing happened to Peg. I just broke her. Yeah, I made her walk a lot. It was really hot. Costa Rica with Merc is kind of a highly physical. It's not a relaxing vacation. I've got bruises all over. I'm covered in bites, and I'm happy as a pig in poop, I don't want to lay on a beach in a resort. That's not Merc's way of traveling. Okay, so here's the story. Oh, by the way, oh my gosh, he was on. I had the look at this was here, and I didn't even introduce him. Mr. Man, come up here. They've missed you so much. Why are you such a scaredy cat right now? Come on up here. The bull. Who's this? Who's the man? You gotta give them a face. Face, face, face. Give them face, real face. Hi, the bull. Everybody missed you. Next time we stream live from Costa Rica, Rio will be with us. Right? The bull. I'll tell you something too that we're going to do later. Where did I put it? Yeah, it's right here. I brought Rio back a souvenir. I brought him back some Costa Rican whiskas. So we'll have a little Rio mukbang at the end of the stream. Right, the bull? I know you had your supper, but I love you, so you can have an extra treat tonight. Because you haven't worked in 2 weeks. So you got to work hard now. You got to work hard. Yeah. I brought Joan back some chocolate, and she said to me, I have chocolate here at the house. So I said, yeah, but this is like special chocolate. I brought you some of this. I know you like milk chocolate, and I brought her this beautiful milk chocolate, artisan, made in Costa Rica from bean to bar. Special is, look at the packaging. Come on, this packaging. Look at this packaging. How gorgeous is that? But no, she's got an arrow bar. So then today I said, well, did you try it? And she said, yeah, I didn't like it. I said, well, that's fine. I'm taking it. So Merc's got the chocolate now. And I also bought myself this dark one because it's from all the artisan chocolate from this one shop that I like to go to is all, it's by farm. Each finca has they have their own cocoa beans, right? So this is from the finca Rio Celeste because that's the river that Rio was named after. So that's why I bought this particular one. I think Paige got some kind of chai, California girl. Tons of flavors of different chocolates. This is very dark. I find, I love my Belgian Calabo chocolate. I think it's the best in the world. I love working with it. But for eating, I find that Central American cocoa is so complex. The flavor, it's a lot more complex. It's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, that's the chocolate thing and Rio souvenirs. And now I'll tell you just about our last day. Because it was a good last day. Fluffy, can you tell me, I missed it in the last chat. You said you're going to Limon. I don't know if you're going to Limon or Limon Province, sorry, French Canadian. I'm curious why you'd go to Limon. It's a port city. Take an hour down, go an hour south of Limon. That's where the action is. Isn't it you, Fluffy, that said you're going to Limon? Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe I'm getting my lovely alerts confused. I thought somebody said they're going to Costa Rica and they were going to Limon. No geckos tried to sell me anything. They just sang to me all night long. Megan says, let Joan enjoy her crappy cheap chocolate. I'll take the yummy Costa Rican chocolate. I knew she would. Honestly, that's why I only bought her a small bar, because I knew she wouldn't like anything I brought from there. And I was just happy because I got it back. Okay, sorry, Fluffy. I'm so confused now. I wonder who it was. It was somebody. Hey, Jay. Okay, so our last day, right? Yeah, she's a peach. Joan's a peach. I will say, geckos sound like birds at night, Ingeborg. They kind of chirp. About the second time I was in Costa Rica, I was sitting around at night with some people, and I was like, guys, what is that bird? What bird sings like that at night? And they go, idiot, that's a gecko. I was like, okay, live and learn. If you don't act dumb and ask questions, you never learn, right? So, dark chocolate is good for you, Magic Zero. You know, in moderation, of course, like an ounce a day, not a bar. Okay, so let me tell you about our last day. So I don't remember. I'm literally going to have to go through my pictures day by day to remember what we did on what day because it's all just a blur to me now. I don't even remember. Oh, our last night. Oh, yeah. We tried to do a kayak tour and we got rained out. It was supposed to be at 2 in the afternoon. Oh, yeah. We were supposed to go zip lining in the morning and then we were going to go kayaking in the afternoon. So we woke up in the morning of our second last day, and did my mom want to hear about the trip? No, she didn't give a shit how the trip was. She wanted to tell me how miserable she was. She could care less about my trip. She didn't ask me where I went. Nothing. All she cares about is that I left her. So yeah, so we wake up in the morning, and I am like so tired. And I said to Paige, booked the zip line. And I said to her, do you even know where the meeting point is? Like, I'm not sure where you booked this tour. And she says, oh, she goes and checks and she goes, yeah, it's in Limon. I go, oh my God, Limon is like an hour away. We could have booked one like in Kawita, but you know, she didn't know. Easy mistake to make. We all make mistakes. But I was like, damn, girl, we're going to have to hustle. And I said to her, Paige, do you realize this zip line? It's 18 towers, 18 separate zipline towers. Songgohan Paige is one of my moderators who I met for the first time in the airport in San Jose, Costa Rica, and she came with me on my trip. Our trip. So I'm like, girl, 18 friggin' towers. We gotta hustle now. We gotta get a taxi to get an hour away into Limon. And then we gotta hustle back to get to our kayaking tour, which we booked for 2. I said to her, I'm so tired. She said, let's not go. I said, but we paid for it. She goes, I don't care. Let's not go. I said, okay. So we canceled the zip line. 18 towers, guys. In that heat, at the end of the tour, no, that's something you got to do the first day, not the last day. So I said, you know what? Let's just kayak. Definitely my speed. And if we're kayaking the mangroves and not the ocean, chances are we're going to be in the same boat with the guide, and the guide's going to kayak, and we're going to sit there like Queens of Sheba and check out all the wildlife. That's exactly my kind of tour on the last day. We've already done the scuba diving and the hiking for kilometers and kilometers and all kinds of stuff, right? So, okay, perfect plan. So we chill. So then I said, well, why don't we go walk by the entrada to the national park and see if, I forget his name, Javier? No, that was the taxi. Anyway, see if the guy is there. Because we had booked it for 2, but now we're free. Maybe we can go earlier. It's better to go in earlier, right? So we go walking by. He goes, yeah, I don't know why you wanted to go so late. We said, well, because we had something else to do. It's raining now. It's starting to rain. And we go, are we going to be okay for this? Like, I don't mind a bit of rain. A bit of rain is fine, but it can get torrential, right? So he goes, yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Because you got to know there's these guides. These guys are that like kind of like the hustlers who try and book the tours, but they're not the tour operators. So they probably get a commission, right? So they all are the first ones to tell you, no, it doesn't matter how rainy it is. We'll go anyway. It'll be great. It'll be fine, right? Because they don't want to lose the tour. Now, they're not shady about it. They're so sweet and kind. They go way above and beyond. They're not like normal hustling tour operators. So he goes, yeah, we'll be fine. Okay, we'll fine. We'll come back in an hour. So we go home. It is now pissing rain. It's probably raining harder than it had rained the whole time we were there. And I said to Paige, I don't mind rain, but this is ridiculous. Like, we're not even going to see anything in that kind of rain. It's stupid. So we go, we're just going to tell him. That's it. We're not going to go. He's just mad crazy. We're not going. But I said, you know what? Don't call him. Let's wait until 2:00. And then, because, in Costa Rica, if you don't like the weather, you wait 10 minutes or you move 10 miles, it's going to change. So let's wait until the last minute. That rain could just completely clear up and make our day fantastic, right? Okay. So we start doing our hike down the trail to get down to the entrance of the national park to find the guy. And as we're walking, rain is clearing up. Rain is clearing up. By the time we get there, the rain has stopped. I'm going, this is fantastic. We're going to get to go for our kayak, which is one of my favorite. And the mangrove, one of my favorite places. We get there and he gets a phone call from the tour operator. And the tour operator goes, no, even though it stopped raining, it's just too much now. It's just been raining for 2 hours really bad. We're not going to go. It's canceled. Oh, okay. So it's canceled. So, we were disappointed. But it was okay because it's just being there is good enough. And we were both exhausted. Magic Zero says, Merc, may you please tell me how the ocean water was, please? And thank you. Magic Zero, it's like a bathtub. It's literally like walking into a bathtub. It's warm, super, super warm. Unbelievable. So it stopped raining, so we decided to go home, and we're just chilling out. And I said, Paige, we got to leave at like 4. We should get absolutely everything ready to go. Like everything ready to go the night before. Good idea. So we get organized. We get all organized. Everything's ready. I said, we can go in. Let's go into town and eat later. But then we were humming and hawing because we were really tired. And it was, a 10-minute walk down the road to get to the restaurants and stuff. And I said, no, we got to go. It's our last night. We'll be so pissed off if we don't go for dinner in town at our last night. So we went into town for dinner to probably the last place we hadn't gone, and had a flippin' amazing dinner. I'm so glad we went. I'm still thinking about that fish. It wasn't ceviche. Thank you, cool mom. So we had an amazing, amazing last dinner. And then we went home and we went to bed early and we got ready to get up at 4 a.m. because our taxi driver was meeting us at 5 a.m. because we had to be at the Tippy Tiny airport to get on our little 12-seater plane at 6. We had to be there for 6:30, I think. So off we go to bed. Our alarms are set. So we thought. I didn't set my alarm, and Paige's alarm apparently didn't go off. But you know who does go off at 5 a.m. in Costa Rica? The howler monkeys. So God bless the howler monkeys woke me up at 5. And I wake up smiling, as one does when one is woken up by the howlers. And I pick up my clock and I go, holy fuck, it's 10 after 5. Our taxi's going to be here at 5. Paige, it's 10 after 5. And like yelling, we're going like crazy. Thank God we got everything ready the night before. And then I hear honk. I go, Paige, that's him. I go running like a mofo down the laneway. I go, oh, lo siento. We slept in 10 minutes. He goes, pura vida, no problem. So we got there. We got in the taxi. We got there in time. Thank gosh, because we were going to leave at 5:30, but I padded it a little half hour because I do a little. I'm old now, so I always pad the time, and it's always very good to do. So we got there. I know those monkeys saved me. We would have missed. Well, I wouldn't have, as you'll find out, but Paige would have missed her flight. I wouldn't have. That's the second half of the story. So We get to the airport in Limon, tippy tiny plane, seats 12 people. So there's this plus sized American woman traveling solo who's going to get on our flight as well. Our flight was booked, every seat, all 12 seats were full. And you know, I'm not saying anything, but people from some of the people, not all of them at all, some of the people from the States tend to stand out when they're down there because they tend to be, I pulled a little trick we told you in the live in one of the taxis. The taxi driver, I was in the front seat and Paige was in the back, and he says, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Canada." And then we started talking about Canada. Paige didn't say anything. And he said, "You know, Canada and United States are very similar, but the people are very different." And I smiled and I looked back at Paige and I kept my mouth shut because I thought it might be interesting for her to hear an unbiased, an unfiltered opinion, right? Because he thought we were both Canadian, right? And he said, "No, they're very nice." But he said, "You know, a lot of them can be really, really demanding and loud and aggressive." And I said, "Yeah, I get that." And we kind of giggled. And then we said, "Paige is from California." And then he backpedaled because Costa Ricans would never want to insult you. They're very lovely people. So I said, "I'm sorry I did that to you. We were just playing." And, you know, it was fine. So anyway, this lady, she stood out because she was in there. She was talking to everybody, not us, because we were kind of hanging in the back. And she was saying, "I was supposed to have a wheelchair here. I don't know why they don't have the wheelchair for me. I was supposed to have a wheelchair here." Okay. All right. We're just sitting quietly. Captain Cream Puff member for 5 months. Shout out to whoever gifted me a sub. Hey, Captain Cream Puff, thank you for being around for 5 months. And thank you to Just Jamie was gifting subs tonight. So she was, you know, Miss Thang was a little upset she didn't have her wheelchair. And now she's kind of walking around while she's saying this. So, you know, I know some people don't need a chair all the time. Some people just need one for transport. That's fine. I'm not judging her use of the wheelchair. But she, you know, so she calmed down about it. And then the plane pulls up, and as some of you seen the pictures, the plane it pulls right up to the terminal. Like you just walk onto the plane like you're getting on a taxi, right? So she insisted on being first before everybody else. And then when we get to the plane, when we get to the little ladder to climb up to the plane, she has to stop and she's taking selfies. So we can't get on the plane yet because Miss Thang, who needed the wheelchair but made it to the plane seemingly fine, had to stop everybody, and we had to wait while she took some selfies in front of the plane. Okay, fair enough. We're all tourists, you know. Pura vida. Then they drop the little, you know, the little ladder. It's about 8 steps to get up into the plane. Now, honestly, it's not easy to get in if you're a big person. They're smaller planes. It's a little awkward. And she was not just a tall person, but also a plus-sized person. And then she starts. "I need help. I need help. I can't do this." First of all, she insisted on going first. Now, I would think if I was traveling solo, but I was disabled and I needed people to help me transport, first of all, I wouldn't travel solo. If I needed people to help me, I'd have people to help me. But given that she expected everyone around her to help, I think I would have gone last because I would have been maybe embarrassed to put up this big scene getting on the plane when there's 10 people standing behind me waiting to get to the plane. So she starts carrying on how she can't get on the plane. "I can't get on the plane. I need you to hold my hand. Please. Can you hold my hand, please?" To the pilot. So they do because they're very sweet. And then she says, then she's nervous because, you know, those ladders, they're on like bungee cord kind of. I mean, they sit flat, but they, you know, they can move. "I need you. Okay, I need somebody to stand behind here and put their foot on the ladder so it doesn't move. I need you to hold me." And I swear to God, this went on. I'm no word of a lie. She had one person holding one hand, one person Now the passengers are assisting her, one person holding the other hand. She had somebody standing behind her with their foot on the ladder so she would feel more secure. And then she literally asked people to push her butt to help her get up the stairs into the plane. Now, why you would insist on going first when you had to have this kind of drama, I don't know. To each their own. But it was, and all I could think of was, can you imagine Amber trying to get to Bora Bora? I'm sorry. I am willing to bet that the flights from Fiji, because you got to fly first to Fiji and then to Bora Bora, right? I'm guessing those are not big planes. I'm guessing they're not big planes. So anyway, there was our girl, and I couldn't imagine what she was doing there by herself if she needed so much assistance. That part of the country is not, now, honestly, it was more accessible than I expected. There was ramps in places, but not everywhere, and it's all gravel. Like, how would you get along in a wheelchair? There would be very difficult. There was a couple of guys there in chairs, but they live there. They're tough, and it didn't look easy. Didn't look easy. Why you would travel there solo when you need assistance so much? I don't get that. But so then we got on the plane. Beautiful flight, because I love those flights. Oh my gosh. Nothing like a 12-seater plane. I sit right behind the pilot so I can see I like to see all the screens, to see all the altitude, see everything that's going on. It was so cool. Boom, we land in San Jose. The Sansa terminal is right beside the big international terminal, so we just grab our bags and we walk over to the terminal. We're quite early for our flights. We got there at like 8 a.m. Our flights weren't until 2. So I'm going, why can't I do web check-in? This is really weird. Usually you get the thing 24 hours in advance. I'm trying to web check-in. I can't do web check-in, right? Don't know what's going on. So we're sitting down, we're having coffee. I said to Paige, I'm going to go try and do this check-in. I'm getting nervous here. I don't know. So I go, I can't figure it out. They go, well, you're still early, so wait till, the time. I go, they can't figure it out. No one can figure out what's wrong. Finally, we go look at my pass. I go, Jesus Christ, my ticket is for tomorrow. I booked my ticket for Thursday. Paige's ticket was Wednesday. I don't know how we did that. All I know is that before I left, I was incredibly stressed out, and I was booking a lot of shuttles and taxis and flights and accommodations and stuff. So I messed up. I'm old. I'm a stoner. Shit happens, right? Now, I had just said to Paige, had already checked in and gone through security, and I said, I'll meet you on the other side of security. Before I found out my flight was the next day. Now, I don't understand why I kind of freaked out, because normally I'm chill, but I was really upset. I pretty much think it was the Joan pressure, because my mother was calling me literally 15 times a day while I was away. She forgot I was going away. She decided I didn't tell her I was going away, and she didn't know where I was. She was reminded in the morning by one person that I was away, and then she was reminded again at supper time that I was away every single day. But every single day she would forget, and she was pissed off at me. So every time I would see her number come up, I would get stressed out again. So finally I figured, okay, you big idiot, block her phone number. So I blocked her phone number, and then she filled up my voicemail box. So then I knew every time she called, I don't know if she could leave voicemail or whatever, but it was like too much. And then she finally remembered how to use email on the last 2 days. So then she was emailing me 10 to 20 times a day. So it was a little bit of pressure, feeling a little bit of pressure. So I think that's why when I got to the airport, I had a bit of a breakdown when I found out my flight was the next day, because I felt so much pressure about getting back. Because if I hadn't had that, I would have gone, per a freaking Vita, I'm going to my favorite hostel for one more night. I don't care. But I didn't handle it that way. I was upset. So now, I didn't have a roll into the fetal position or anything. I sat down, I pulled out my phone, got on booking.com. I found a cheap hostel really close. Booked it on the phone, got in a taxi, got to the hostel, got all checked in, and then I crashed on the bed and I cried for an hour. I cried for an hour. I wept like a baby for an hour. Stressed out. Think of how the day started. We were already late with the monkeys and all that. So Joe, oh yeah. So yeah, I cried for an hour. Big baby suck face. And then I had a nap. Then I went for a walk around Alajuela, and I found some food. And then I was feeling a little bit better. And I went to bed early, and then I got up early and walked around the city again and checked out some stuff. And I was like, okay, now I'm feeling more normal. Like, okay, it was one extra day, no big schmeal. You found a cheap hostel. I think the hostel was like $25 or something. Now, had I not been so freaked out, I would have gone back to the hostel we started in, because that's my favorite hostel in Costa Rica. But I didn't, because I was panicking. So that's what I did. Rebecca got your phone stolen in Colombia, cried it out, napped, fixes everything, did some yoga, made soup. Exactly. Rebecca knows. Rebecca knows. But it was the Joan thing, really. It was the Joan pressure. Spazzy Trish says, that's the same way my grandpa is. When I go anywhere without him, I had a day off the other week and he called me 20 times. Girl, I understand. So I understand, and I'm sorry that was so stressful for you. And I'll tell you something, Narc Alert, nothing. I barely see the narcissism anymore. This is full-fledged, serious, hardcore, Swiss cheese brain dementia. Her dementia is so bad, she doesn't remember things from 10 minutes previous. Now, then I got home. So it all worked out okay. I got in. I was very happy to do my web check-in. I was very happy that worked out. My camera looks like it's being weird. I hope it's not. So yeah, I had a nice flight to Panama. And then Panama, we left an hour late, which sucked because I was arriving really late. And I was in the middle seat, stuck between two people who insisted on wearing big puffy winter coats on the plane. So Merc's in the middle seat like this. Like, it sucks when you're the little person. Everybody pushes in your seat. The guy beside me was big, so I didn't get an armrest, and he snored for 5 hours. So I kept elbowing him. Like, everybody was turning around and staring. I was real happy to arrive. So, and here we have the sirens. Welcome back. So now, the small good part of the portion of this program is that Joan has decided, and not in a fight, not in a reactionary way, that she really, really, really wants to go live with her sister in Barrie, which is a town about an hour away from Toronto. Like, it would be really good for her. She's desperately lonely, and she doesn't want to go to any day programs or meet any strangers. She just wants to be with family. Now, my cousin doesn't really want to take her. I don't blame her. And there is an issue that the only spare bedrooms are upstairs, and Joan can't do stairs. Now, she did say if she can't live in that house, that she'd like to move to Barrie just to be close to them, because there's so many more of them. Like, my cousin has 2 adult children that have husbands and wives and families. There's a lot of family up there for her. Yeah, well, Magic Zero says Barrie's a nice city, but terrible drivers. Joan doesn't drive, so that's cool. Yeah, her sister would be probably agreeable. She's also got Alzheimer's. Her sister has Alzheimer's. My mom has vascular dementia. I would feel good sorry for my cousin, but she has a network of support there. And my mom's sister is amenable to things. Like, she goes to day programs at the Alzheimer's Society. She has PSWs come in and help her. My mom won't allow any of that. So I came home and I found that I decided I was going to stop nagging her about her pills, because she just gets mad at me. And I told her, fine, it's up to you. You won't accept medication help. You won't accept the machine. You won't accept a nurse calling you. You won't accept me reminding you. You're on your own with your medication. I came home and I found that she's taken pills 3 days out of the last 21 days. So She can't live on her own anymore. I'm going to talk to the doctor. It's got to be at the point where her executive function is at a point where she can't be making decisions anymore. Like, you have to come on. And that's enough of that. So now I'm home, and that's that. And dementia sucks. And yeah. It is lagging, isn't it? I don't know why. It's really laggy. See, for me, it's lagging an insane amount. I know. I don't know what to do about it. Let's look at the thing. It shouldn't be. I just had a service technician here like an hour ago fixing my damn internet. Let's do a speed test. I'll be ticked off if it's not good. I paid for 3,000. I had 30. Well, I'm glad the audio is fine. No, my speed is fine. I'm sitting at like 600. Oh, download. But my upload has been fine all day. I don't know what's going on. Can't be the computer. No, I got a gigabyte update. My upload speed is fine. It's not the speed of the computer. Should I try and restart? It's not the internet speed, you guys. My speed is fine. Should I try and restart? I don't know if it's going to start a new stream or not. I never know how this works. I'm going to end the stream and start the stream again. I think that we should be able to stay in the same window, but let's finger cross. I know it was rebooted, but I rebooted everything. I'm going to reboot everything. I'll be right back. Fingers crossed. Yeah, last night we had problems, but he's fixed it now. My speed is fine, but I'm going to restart everything. I'll be right back, and then we're going to get right into Amber. So it's a perfect place to stop, right? Hang on. Okay. Hasta pronto.